And I say that because there was a Masters of the Universe film which came out in 1987, I think it was, and that really got panned by the critics and a lot of the fans because they were like, what is this? What's going on?
I was going to say, I did talk on a previous episode that I've been recently to see the Supergirl film, which I've not seen. I'm not too big on DC in general, right? I am definitely more of a Marvel fan. I think both me and Mr. Bingley walked out of seeing Supergirl and we said, if they stick with this, it has the potential to be really good.
First of all, Stanley, yes, he definitely said that. He said that any kid can wear the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, it doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. And you could be any sort of like anyone, and any kid can do it. And that's what I liked about it. But also, what I was going to say was, if you've never seen it, watch Kill Bill. There's a moment in that where he talks about superheroes. He said, who's the only superhero that doesn't have a mask? He said, how are we doing, everybody? Welcome into the To Be Decided podcast, episode 12. I think we're on. We're 12 episodes in. Yeah, damn. And as always, joining me today is going to be Mrs. Bingley. How are we doing, Kate? How are you?
I'm here. I have had a cold for the past 2 weeks, which I know you're aware of, but chat isn't, so I'm telling them. It's one of the really irritating ones. When you don't have a runny nose, you don't have a cough, but when you swallow, it hurts on one side of your throat. It's just the hurt when I'm swallowing. So there's nothing I can do about it. There's no need for cough medicine because I don't have a cough. I've tried strepsils and everything. All I did was trigger my IBS, so that was a fun minute in the office. Other than that, though, I am doing really, really good.
Despite the sickness, I think is that going to be linked to change of weather and stuff like that? Is that what you're thinking it could be?
It could be linked to change of weather. It might also have something to do with the fact that when we went up north for my nephew's birthday, I had quality one-on-one time with my niece, who was very snotty, as toddlers tend to be. So part of it is toddler, part of it is weather. Part of it is just my immune system going, fuck you.
No, I have been I think you described that sense that you get when you get a cold. Sometimes you feel it in the back of your throat, or you feel a head cold coming on, and it's just the sort of nasal passages are feeling a little bit swollen or whatever. A little bit blocked, and you're thinking, is this a start of a cold? I've had that feeling for the past week, but yet haven't actually fully developed into a cold. So I'm a little bit apprehensive that I'm going to get a cold because no one really wants them. But, it's to be expected as well. And this is why I'm saying about with you, whether it could be the weather change. It's just that the weather's been horrendous. It's been really hot, sweaty, sticky. Naturally, your body defenses of that is to sweat, so you want to try and cool down. But you're sweating to cool down, and then you're feeling cold because the cold air's getting to you, or there's a breeze or something. So I was going
to say, I think part of it, at least, will definitely be the fact that because it's been so hot, we've had fans on constantly.
Yeah.
And that constant air being blown on my face, I think it's just dried out my throat too much.
And I have also it's not such a bad thing, but it's the feel the need to want to shower more because I feel sweaty and horrible, and naturally taking showers. I took one about an hour ago today. I'm right, I need to actually more so to wake up, but it was like didn't really help myself in any ways. Took the towel out of the airing cupboard, and I left it to one side I hooked it over the clothes horse. Got in the shower, came out, was like, oh shit, I ain't got a towel. I was like, oh no.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, Steve. You live alone, right?
Yeah. So it's not too bad. It was just no. It's just that thing that I never, I know it to be true of. So I know you've been doing a lot of gym recently. You've been doing a lot of working out and stuff. I had, in order to get me motivated, I decided to hire a personal trainer. So I got
Let me look at him.
Yeah, so I got a personal trainer just to give me pointers and to make sure I'm going in the right direction. And it was a female. I don't know. It doesn't make a difference. I'm just saying it's the fact that there was the difference being.
Yeah, we all hear you, Steve.
Right.
It's rare a woman doing exercise, a female personal trainer.
No, it's important. It's important to. Oh God, fuck's sake! It's important to say this because, like, you go into like your separate changing room, like locations, right? You go in like
well,
so. Obviously,
didn't follow her in. Yeah.
Oh no, but she had told me that she had forgotten her towel. And I said it's never known for it's lesser known for I think it's lesser known for women to always wrap themselves into two towels because you've got one around the body and then one on your hair, right?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, Steve. I only use the one on my hair.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I've never forgotten a towel, so I always thought like it must be like a guy thing that if you don't have a towel, it's just like I don't want to know, I don't want to look around. But like she was just explaining it, it just felt really embarrassing. But like I don't know, I've never really experienced that. But I hate the feeling of you although you're all kind of the same, like you're all there, like you're just getting changed, you're getting you're having a shower, you're getting changed, but like it's just walking through a group of the same type of people. Like for her case, it was like walking through a group of women, and she's still naked. She's having to like grab a towel and like.
I mean, I've got to admit that is my worst nightmare,
and that's why
I'd have to find a new gym.
Yeah, I just thought I just remembered that moment that been said to me, and I was like, how embarrassing is it if you're all, even though you're all there, you're all like girls all together or the boys all together, like it's a little bit, I don't know, overwhelming or something.
It's still somebody seeing you naked.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? It's just that's the point I was just sort of coming to. Like that, I just was reminded of that moment.
I mean, we're quite lucky. Like it's where we do our personal training is like the upstairs of it's basically above a shop. Right?
Oh right,
it's like
okay.
One room.
Yeah.
It's not in a gym. It's like a private personal training thing. So we go in the gear that we're going to wear. We shower when we get home because it's literally down the street from us. So we don't have to worry about like, changing rooms or forgetting your towel or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I really like doing it privately because there's like 5, maybe 6 people in each session.
Yeah.
So you like, one of the things for me, I think one of the reasons why I hate actually going to the gym, as it were, is just because like, I've got no direction. I don't know what to do or how long I'm going to be there. And it's just too open, if you know what I mean. Like you're surrounded by people. So you constantly feel like you're being watched, even though you know you're not because nobody's looking at you. And I just, like, the thought of going into a public gym gives me anxiety. Yeah, you would definitely never see me or Steve on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, no. That's a big nope for me. I certainly would be afraid, and yeah, I would be terrifying, actually. I do. I find it interesting that people do that. There are TV shows.
I was going to say, do you know what show I really fucking love? Oh. Naked Attraction.
I knew it. You was going to say that.
It's so shit, but it's such an entertaining watch.
Why? Where has it come from? Where is it? There must have been someone sat down in the conference room somewhere in the TV centre or something like that, and they're going, right, we've got to have ideas. Come on, lads, and let's get together. Let's have a dating show, but we see them naked first. I mean, it sounds.
Like, can you imagine pitching that to the board of directors?
Yeah, it's like, hey, what? We've got loads of dating shows. The new twist
but
is...
we don't have any that showed naked bits on TV.
But the thing is about that, for anyone who doesn't know, right? So I do know this, right? So Naked Attraction is like you get, what is it, 3 or 4 of men, and then there's one woman comes out, and then they flip it around, right? But they're all in like... So that they're
in like tubes.
They're in tubes.
And to start off with, it goes to like their knees.
Yeah.
And then at that stage, you've got to get rid of somebody just based on their knees, like up to their knees. So if you don't like their feet, they're gone. And then it goes up to like the waist.
Yes.
Then you like straight away you're looking at somebody's dick or somebody's like.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at genitalia.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get rid of somebody else. So imagine being that poor sod who's standing there, knowing there's a woman on the other side who gets voted off because she doesn't like the look of your dick. Right? It then goes up your shoulders. So for the women,
it's like
imagine being the woman that gets out
boobs.
because your boobs are a little bit lopsided.
Yeah.
And then it finally shows the face when you've chosen somebody.
I mean, and then because once they get rid of that person, they then come out and they have to do that awkward hug. It's like, oh, hi. Oh, no, I've got rid of him. But he looks so gorgeous. And, like, it could be anything like that.
Oh, no, I judged him on his penis, but he's actually got a really nice face.
Yeah, literally. That's...
Or in some of the cases, because they're, like, still naked when they come out, aren't they? So in some of the cases, it's like, oh, no, I voted him out because his feet looked a bit weird, but look at the size of his cock.
It's just bizarre. It's madness.
It's crazy. And it's so entertaining. I love watching it.
I have, like I said, I have seen it. And I've seen it on the basis of someone recommended it. When I was working in London, I was working in central London, like I'd lived there for a while. And then after work, it was those after work topics of talking and sort of saying, oh, have you seen this? And then my manager's wife saying, have you seen Naked Attraction? It's dead good. You get to see willies and bums and titties. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So my curiosity sort of like, no, I'm not. I'm saying to him, I'm not going to watch it.
And you were like, oh, I've got to give that a watch.
I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch that. But then secretly going home, going, right, Naked. What was it called? Oh yeah, Attraction. And then trying to Google
what was the title called? TV show with tits. Naked Attraction. That's the
one. Yeah. So I obviously this is on like normal sort of TV. I say normal sort of TV because like
it's on daytime TV. Like what the fuck?
What? It's madness. It's just madness. Oh,
we're being told that in Naked and Afraid they blur out the privates. They do not do that in Naked Attraction.
Well, I
say full frontal.
Since then, I had seen there's a Naked Love Island. Right, so it's like it's like Love Island, but it's presented by what's his name, Rylan, and it's on. I think it's on Sky. I don't know, Sky something, Sky Atlantic, or so, I don't know, one of those Sky channels. And I was like, what is this? It's the same curiosity that got me to sort of look at one of those episodes of Naked Attraction. I was like, what is this? So yeah, it's literally. It's like Big Brother. It's kind of set like Big Brother with like the same sort of like, but they're on an island, so it's like Love Island. It's the combination of Big Brother and Love Island, and Ryland's the host, and then they have to go and they have to go on dates, but you got to pick your person. They're all naked, like boys and girls. They're all naked. I say boys and girls. No, it's actually men and women. Let's get that straight first.
Yeah, let's be very clear. There are no boys, no girls involved.
No, I mean I use that term like meaning like man and female, but it's like you got group of men, group of women. Some of them fancy each other already, like within the first couple of days, and they get pissy about the other one wanting to try out a date with someone else. It's like, well, why are you getting pissy about that? You're naked, first of all, on a program. You're seeing the person for who they are, but based on their, and then you already see, there's no revealing that, they are already there, like stripped down.
Yeah.
And it's not blurred. It's not blurred out at all. It is literally, you can see dongs and whatever. Yeah, you can see the whole 10 yards. It's all there on display. It's oh my God. It's just what the heff? What the fuck is this? And yeah, I watched a couple of episodes to sort of like I don't know why I needed to watch more than one. I just literally, did she dump him or not? And that was literally it. I think it was going on to the next episode thinking, have they really been that sort? You
don't have to justify it, Steve. If you want to watch people naked, you can watch people naked. This is a safe space.
Yeah, but as long as people realise that I'm not in a weird space, that's a safe space.
Well,
with my
can
binoculars.
I share with you my favourite thing about those kind of TV shows? Okay, and everyone I say this to kind of has that moment of realisation that they haven't actually thought of it, which is part of why it's my favourite thing about stuff like Naked Attraction.
Yeah.
Because I think the first episode of Naked Attraction that I watched was, it started with a woman who came out and, they ask you to do a who are you? So she was like, my name is blah, blah, blah. I am X age and I'm a primary school teacher. I like to read and go on walks, and I'd like a man who was tall, dark, and funny. And I'm sitting there going, a primary school teacher.
Yeah.
You don't have a job anymore, babe.
Yeah.
Even if you still had a job, you are no longer allowed to be a primary school teacher. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, it's that next stage, because they obviously film it. They do a lot of these in advance, don't they? So they go ahead and they just film a group of them all at once, and then they get broadcasted months down the line. Imagine being that contestant who maybe they lost or they won. Doesn't matter, but they've got to keep that quiet as part of their contract. They have to keep that sort of undercover. They can't, because otherwise then they won't get their fees or anything like that. So they have to be quiet about it, right? So they clearly have to remain silent. You go in work the next day, and then there's this. Everyone is just looking at you, going, "What did I just watch last night? Wait, did you just strip off in front of the cameras?"
Well, this is what I mean.
And it's yeah.
Especially think about, I genuinely believe that some of these people don't have higher critical thinking.
Yeah.
I have a genuine core belief that some of these people don't think about what's going to happen once this episode airs live on TV. Because can you imagine being sat at home with whoever, watching the TV, and your partner turns around and goes, "Isn't that our kid's teacher?"
Yeah, right.
No school board is going to let that happen. They are going to fire that teacher as soon as they're aware, and then release a statement saying that the teacher has been fired.
Yeah, I know.
You've lost your job. Even if you're in an office setting, as soon as HR finds out that the people in your office have seen you naked, you're gone.
I think you really need to win those. If there's a high prize at stake, you really need to win those, because if you don't, then you're going back you're going on to the unemployment.
Right, so I think so many people tend to forget that, if they win, great, but even if it's not, if it's not a show that has a prize like Naked Attraction, you don't necessarily win money, or even if it is one where you could win money and you don't win, you have to be prepared to be out of a job, because especially if you're stripping off basically in public, or in the public eye, your employer isn't going to keep you. And if you go applying for other jobs, they're going to Google search you, and the first thing that's going to come up is your dick or your tits on Naked Attraction.
I mean, yeah. Is that Mr. Johnson flashing his Johnson? Yeah.
Right? Like,
Jesus, it's like what the fuck? Yeah, I find the whole concept bizarre. I find that like, yeah, it's weird. It's just weird.
yeah,
I
and
don't know.
I think it just amuses me because I think the episode that I watched, the presenter actually asked the woman of like, oh, what do what do you think you're going to go back to doing after this? And you can kind of see that she has that moment of realization of, wait a minute, I'm going to lose my job because of this, but she's already signed a contract.
Yeah, that's mad.
Like,
Oh,
it's just crazy to me that some people are either so confident that they're not going to need another job, or just truly do not care or do not think about it.
right. Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it?
It's insane to me.
It is to me as well. I just, yeah. No, those programs, they do exist and they're out there. I don't see them going away anytime soon. It's just going to be reinvented.
No, they're way too entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, do you know what? I can't tell you what that's called. Whatever I watched. I honestly I can't think what it was now.
Well, when you remember it, send me the name.
I'll let you know. But yeah. Anyway, okay. Should we get started with our show then? With the this week's episode. So, as for anyone who doesn't know, like to be decided, we are obviously a podcast that likes to talk about different kinds of genres, and we pick a different genre every week. And in the last few episodes that we've been doing, it's either been a book, TV show, movies, or the theatre, or musicals. We haven't actually done theatre, actually. I said theatre and then realised I changed it to...
Yeah, we haven't done plays, have we? We've only done musicals.
So, actually, there's a slight error on my behalf. But yeah, that's the sort of thing we do. We talk about those. We've been doing it in general, but now we've gone past the 10th episode mark. I thought it'd be interesting to go back on some of those genres, some of those medias, but this time pick a certain genre. And I thought, well, there's a film that I watched recently, and I thought it's kind of like interesting to watch it. And I'll get into that in a second as to what it's called. But this week, yeah, we thought we'd just pick on superheroes or heroes. Maybe heroes are involved in movies, within the movie.
Well, not just movies. But I think it's safe to say that because we're doing such a super job of the podcast, we're going to talk about superheroes.
Superheroes, yeah, super. But then, I mean, I'll get into it a little bit later on. But yeah, so what was the film that I watched? I watched He-Man, Masters of the Universe. It was on my
list to see.
It's on the streaming services. Now, I will try and keep it as much as I can. I will try and keep it spoiler free, but it's about the film does take massive amounts of inspiration from the 1984 cartoon. And I say that because there was a Masters of the Universe film which came out in 1987, I think it was. And that really got panned by the critics and a lot of the fans because they were like, what is this? What's going on? This isn't what the He-Man is that we're used to. That particular film starred Dolph Lundgren, and yeah, it got hated upon. And there was this big gap between then and now. So it's like, I don't know, 30, 40 years on? What I don't know how 40 years on. And it's now been. It's obviously this new He-Man. I was going to say superhero. this new film, Masters of the Universe, that came out just recently, starring I'm going to get his name wrong, but Nicholas Galazian, I think that's his name. He plays Adam / He-Man. You got Camila Mendes, who's Teela. Idris Elba is Duncan. Gerard Leto is Skeletor. And there's a smattering of other people as well. Some of them.
Jared Leto plays Skeletor.
Yes, in the new Masters. And
How is he still getting work?
I could honestly say, in any film that I've seen him in, it's been a bit shit. I feel
like everything he does is just shit. I don't think I've seen a single film in it where I went, you know what, he did a good job of that. And that's so awful to say, but he's just terrible.
I'm hoping that with my review of this film, you might change your mind a little bit, because I actually think he was actually really good. It was, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not sort of like, when I heard about Jared Leto being in this film, I was like, oh, really? Why? And for probably same reason that you just saying, like, it's just been shit after shit after. It's just never done anything good. Like, he's broken every franchise that he's been in. Like, he was the Joker in one of the Justice League movies. The Justice League, or I don't know what.
It was the Suicide
Squad. It was the first Suicide Squad before the James Gunn reinvented it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was bad in that. He was not good in Morpheus, which was like the.
Oh, don't even talk to me about Morbius.
Morbius, which was the. Morbius
look at me, I'm a vampire.
Was the vampire, which is supposed to be like the Sony Spider-Man universe, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's not the MCU. We're going to get into that later, by the way. But I actually do think he actually plays it really well. He plays Skeletor really well. It's very. So for those who don't know, He-Man came, like I said, is a superhero and the protagonist of the Sword and Planet franchise, Masters of the Universe, which includes the toy line. I think it was like Mattel wanted to bring out a new hero, so they invented a cartoon to go along with the new toy line that they had, which was He-Man and all of his side characters involved.
Yeah.
So that's the whole basic story of it. So we do see in the start of this, and I'm trying to keep it spoiler free, but like it got a young Prince Adam who's taught to fight by Man of Arms, aka Idris Elba, who plays obviously Duncan. And he's teaching them how to fight, and then there's something happens. And I'm kind of keeping it spoiler free because you haven't seen it yet, but I do want you to go and see it. I really do think if you do go before you do watch it, I do recommend maybe watching one of the 1984 cartoons. And the reason I say that is because if you go over to, it's on Prime Video. There is, within Prime Video, you've got categories of different genres of film or TV. And there's also an On Now category, which is a 24-hour rolling thing of every type of, like, different types of, like, shows. So you got River Monsters, which is 24 hours rolling, Ice Road Truckers, and then there's also He-Man Master of the Universe, which is constantly rolling. So if you watch one of those, you'll kind of get some of the in-jokes. It's a film that doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows exactly what it is. It definitely captures that 1984 cartoon. I say in 84, I don't know if maybe it's before that even, but it's, you know, those like 80s cartoons were hand drawn, that have like, it's kind of like the Scooby-Doo kind of things where the backgrounds were always repeated just so it looked like they were running down a hallway. It's, you know, it's cheaply made for the sake of being cheaply made and entertaining at the same time. But yeah, He-Man Masters of the Universe, the film, really opens up like this. They bring in a lot of the characters from that universe, from the comic books and from the TV, like the cartoon. Yeah. And basically Adam he gets put down onto Earth, and then he has to try to find the Sword of Power. Because he was sworn to protect it, but as a kid, he lost it because he was 10 years old, as kids do. So he lost it. He goes and finds it, and then he has to come back to his planet of Eternia and try to take on the mighty Skeletor, who, as I said, was played by Jared Leto, and I've got to be honest, I actually think I think he's really good in it, and I don't often say that about any of his stuff that I've done, as I've already mentioned. So yeah, Adam knows that the sword has power, but he doesn't know how to use it. He gets told how to use it, and he says the infamous words of, "I have the power," and yeah, becomes He-Man. There's no real spoilers because it's already in the. There's lore and there's background and there's history. So
it's an old enough franchise.
It's old enough franchise that you don't actually know. You obviously know Adam and He-Man are the same person anyway.
Yeah.
Which I will say, they really, really concentrate on the campiness of the 1984. It's so campy. It's so good. It's that sort of thing. It's like, I was just watching it going, oh, that's funny. I like, it's like, oh, that's so, I liked what they did there. I was just giddy about it. It's just a great popcorn, swish off your brain type movie. It's good.
Enough.
It's good for a couple of, I think it's just under a couple of hours. Like I said, it's now rolling on the streaming services. I think I saw it on might be Prime. I can't remember. But it's on one of those Prime or Netflix or whatever it is. But yeah, it's now free to watch. It got heavily panned by the critics, but it didn't do so well at the cinema. But there's been a lot of, now it's been on the streaming services. A lot of people are like, damn, I wish I'd seen this in the cinema. They're kind of like, there's a lot of that from where on all of the forums and stuff. That if you go to any of the cinema forums and He-Man forums, I was just following it a little bit after I watched it because I wanted to find out a little bit more about it, just so I obviously talk about it as well. But yeah, there's a lot of people saying, "Damn, I wish I'd watched this in the cinema. So good." Because I think people had that thing on their mind of like, oh no, not another one, not another
superhero movie,
not another superhero movie, not another remake. Because obviously, like I said, there was an 1987 film, Dolph Lundgren, in it, and that because that got so badly treated, the way it was made, it was so bad. A lot of people hated upon it, and they're like, no, we don't really want it. We didn't want another one. And obviously, there's the whole of that 1987 film takes place on Earth, and I'm like, well, why are we watching these characters on Earth when they've got their own planet, which is colourful? This is very we are on Earth briefly. In this new one, we're on Earth briefly just for a short time, just sort of like plot points.
Set the scene.
The scene. Give a bit of, there's some plot points and there's some background characters that we want to get to know. So, but we do go to Eternia, and Eternia is colourful. It's like, yeah, it captures that. It captures the cartoon. There's a lot in the cartoon that explains a lot in the movie. It's worth. That's why I recommend watching. Just watch an episode. Yeah, and I don't want to give anything away because if you're not really knowing what's going on in the cartoon, you might not get some of the references. So that's why I want to mention it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And again, I can't help but like Idris Elba. Oh, he's so good. He's so good, and he's so good in this. He's actually like. I didn't realize he was in it, and honestly, like even Jared Leto, I didn't know that he was Skeletor because of the effects that they use. But yeah, it's very, like I said, it's very self-aware. It's very campy. It's very sort of like, oh, it's so stupid, but it's sort of stupid, but in a good way. It's actually. It's fun. It's fun. It's what it is. I like it. Yeah. I mean, I'm smiling while I'm talking about it. I don't know. But yeah, Masters of the New Universe, it's just under 2.5 hours. And it is, I've just searched it. It is available on Prime Amazon Prime. Yeah. So give it a watch, and yeah, if I'm wrong and you didn't like it, then I'll apologise. But I don't think you will. I think most people will actually find it enjoyable, even if you don't. Actually, I said about needing to watch the cartoon. I don't think you need to, but I think it does help.
But it would help.
It helps a little bit, but. I watched an episode of the cartoon afterwards, and like, oh, okay, I didn't notice that. But then when you watch it, it was like, yeah, they did that as well. So there's definitely references. They know exactly what they were doing. Travis Knight, who directed it, and Aaron Nee, who helped with the screenplay. They're definitely I would say there had to have been fans to done this for us to get this sort of the movie that we've got in comparison to the previous one. So yeah, Masters of the Universe, go and see it. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. I say a lot. I'm not gonna put my neck out too far because I'm not that brave. Yeah, if you're looking for an alternative superhero movie, there's definitely room for a sequel, and I think they probably will. It's hard to say because if they don't do well at the cinema, it tends not to generate a sequel. So we'll see.
That's true, but if it does particularly well afterwards, then sometimes they're like, oh well, if we,
I think I think there's enough hype behind the streaming service version. Than there was in the season.
They might just do like a release straight to streaming services. To be fair,
yeah, that may happen. And I think, I do feel like there will be a sequel. I think there's going to be something. There is some Easter eggs in this that I'm not going to give away. I just want people to realise that don't just switch off the film straight away. There is some post-credit scenes.
Ooh.
Just so you know, I know that it's easy.
You enjoy post-cred?
Yeah, like if. Sometimes you don't get a lot of them. Obviously, the MCU was quite famous for it.
Yeah, they kind of coined it, didn't they?
They coined that a lot. So, yeah, the post-credit scenes, there's a couple of them. So it's worth sticking around. Even if you just quickly fast forward, it is on streaming services. You do have the option to fast forward it towards the end of the. That's what I do. I tend to, with these sort of films, I tend to do that. If it's if it's just a straight up action hero film, then obviously you're not going to get it. But comic book movie, yeah, worth sort of sticking around just in case. But yeah, that's the film I've seen recently. We're obviously going to talk about other superhero movies and TV. I think I might include some TV characters that I would consider to be superhero. So yeah, Kate, do you have anything?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I did talk on a previous episode that I've been recently to see the Supergirl film, which I've not seen. I'm not too big on DC in general, right? I am definitely more of a Marvel fan. I think both me and Mr. Bingley walked out of seeing Supergirl and we said, if they stick with this, it has the potential to be really good. Like if the Supergirl film that was released this year was part of something that had been built up as much as the MCU, it would have done so much better in box office.
Right.
Because it's such a good, not necessarily lighthearted because some of the content is a bit darker, but it's funny, it's feel good, I'll not give away too many spoilers because it is still fairly new, but the general synopsis is that a brutal and unyielding enemy hits Supergirl dangerously close to home, and she is forced into an uneasy alliance with an improbable ally as she embarks on a journey of justice and revenge. So it's very... I'm trying to think of how to phrase it even, because it's just... To me, I think the best way I could compare it is that it feels a lot like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
How that came out and everyone was like, oh, this is a change of pace. Like, this is something that you can just have a bop to and it's fun and it's it might be a little bit dark, but it's fun. It was that kind of feeling. It's got some pretty big actors in it. You've got Millie Alcock, who I just think she's wonderful. A lot of people know her from House of the Dragon, played the young Rhaenyra. Am I thinking of that person? Yes. Jason Momoa is in there as a second DC hero, because he plays Aquaman as well.
Yes.
You've got Eve Ridley, who I'm just looking up where I know her from, because I do know her face. Okay. Okay, yeah, Eve Ridley, who she is in The Three Body Problem on Netflix, but a lot of people know her because she actually started voice acting on like stuff like Peppa Pig, like kids shows. It was the David Corenswet Superman, he's the most recent Superman in the whole make some DC films, recast everybody, start from scratch saga.
Yeah.
There's some big names in there. It's big without feeling like mainstream, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Some films you look at it and you go, right, okay, every actor is a famous actor, therefore you know how it's going to go because we all know who these people are. Whereas some of these people are like just familiar enough for you to kind of feel like you know them without predicting what they're going to be like. I really did enjoy Supergirl as a movie. It did get some backlash in the box office, but I think I said this in the previous episode, not previous, but when we discussed it in a previous episode of the podcast, so I won't go too much into it. A lot of the hate that this film got was from people in particular of the male variety who were more upset about a film being about a woman.
Right.
And a lot of the hate was, Millie Alcock got not necessarily direct hate, but there was just so many people saying, well, I would have cast so-and-so, or I would have chosen somebody else. And it's like, well, you're kind of missing the point. There was a whole lot of controversy around, not necessarily controversy, but people saying that like Sydney Sweeney would have been a better choice. And it's like, well, you've kind of just shown yourself up there, because the only reason why you're saying you want to see Sydney Sweeney in it is because you want to see tits and they've not shown you any.
Yeah.
So if you're not a raging misogynist, it's a really, really good film. And I don't know, it's feel good. There are some content warnings, slightly trigger warnings. There are, alludes to things like kidnapping and selling people on the black market, slavery, abuse. But the actual relationships between your protagonists and the way that they interact with each other, although there are dark moments, it is feel good. And you do have moments of actually like laughing at it, which I think sometimes can be quite a hard balance to get, but they did a really good job with it. DC isn't my favourite, but I genuinely think Supergirl's probably up there for me in terms of DC films.
I mean, I'm going to have to, it's the same with the Superman, the new one. I'm going to have to watch these on, like you, I haven't done a DC movie in a long time, actually. And I'm more prone to be watching like a MCU.
Yeah.
I think the reason I would come back into the DC sort of universe, I think because I could see what James Gunn is now doing his own. He wants to do what he did with Guardians, but also what MCU did.
In general, he wants to build up a cinematic universe. Yeah.
Which is why you're seeing this reinventing of the. There's so many, like, Batman, Superman.
How many Batman films are there?
Oh my God.
Justice League, and then they started building stuff up, and then they just dropped it.
Of course.
How many times have we watched Superman with a different face?
Yeah, it's the same as. I think we first. I'll get into it in a second. Actually, the MCU, but like, James Gunn. He did obviously Guardians, but then he left Marvel, and then he did the Suicide Squad, which was again reinvention of like the old Suicide Squad with Jared Leto.
I will give him some credit on that one in particular. Sorry to butt in.
Yeah.
But the second Suicide Squad, I went into it thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, they've already got a film called Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise, and what I quite liked about it, is although it has the same name, it is a sequel.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, I know. It feels
like it's supposed to be a reboot.
But it is.
It looks like it's supposed to be a reboot, but it's a sequel.
Yeah. And
I kind of liked it for that, partially because it kind of felt like they were taking the piss out of DC. But also because it's with the Suicide Squad ones in particular, it kind of felt like it should have the same name, because no matter who's on the team, it's always going to be called the Suicide Squad, because the higher ups don't see them as important enough to have their own identity.
Yeah.
So it kind of made a bit of a political statement, and I think they did a very good job on that one.
Oh, it was.
I do get what you mean about it, like the Suicide Squads and the Batmans and the Supermans and.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, because literally, this is where we're going to get some sort of like. I think this particular episode, if anything, is going to divide a lot of people, because you're going to get your DCs, you're going to get your Marvels, you're going to get your in-betweens, and then you're going to get Christopher Reeve was a much better Superman, or Henry Cavill was a much better Superman. And, you could say that about the Batman as well. I think the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy was actually, I think, personally, I liked the three of them. Yes, there are ones that were better than some. I think, obviously, The Dark Knight overall is probably the best out of the three because of the Heath Ledger performance. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with me on that one. But that's I'm
not going to lie. When it comes to Batman, my favourites are the 1980s, 1990s trilogy, the ones by Tim Burton.
Tim Burton ones,
Batman Returns, Batman Forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Michael Keaton ones.
Michael Keaton ones.
Like, those are my favourite Batman films.
Oh, I was gonna bring those into the fold, but yeah, that's. I was mentioning the Christopher Nolan ones, more so because that's probably the last DC movies I really watched. And then the James Gunn Suicide Squad, that was probably the last ones I watched. So I haven't seen anything new, and I don't know whether I'm missing out. I mean, I guess I am missing out on the new Superman, and I'm missing out on the new Supergirl. That's something I need to correct by watching those. And now we're going into the streaming services with that being an option. Yeah, I will give them a go, just to sort of like say, yeah, I've definitely watched them now. But yeah, well, okay. So, as you said, the Batman films, yeah, I did enjoy those ones. Obviously, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, Heath Ledger, as I said, Aaron Eckhart, Anne Hathaway, Tom Hardy. They were all in any of those films.
God, Anne Hathaway as Catwoman was my bisexual awakening. I'm not going to lie, Steve.
Yeah. Damn. That catsuit, damn. But yeah, those, obviously, how many times are we going to reinvent? And this is DC's problem. It's the constant trying to
they're not investing.
They're not investing. They're not saying, right, let's carry on. Like, The Dark Knight Rises, it's what, 2012, so it's old enough now. They could have easily carried that on. They ended it with a potential Robin in the film, like taking over the Batcave. Yes, they didn't have to have Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale could have just parted ways and they said, that's it, we're done now. I signed up for the 3 movies. I've done the 3 movies. But they then went on and did something completely different. Then they got Robert Pattinson doing another new version of the Batman. And that's lined up to get a sequel.
Like, for me, if they'd kind of even taken inspiration from Marvel without directly copying them, if they'd turned around and made a very clear, link and said, right, yeah, all of these Batman films. But now here's a film that shows that all of these Batmen are people taking over the mantle of Batman after the last one's died or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you would have like some kind of relationship between each of the different ones. But as it stands, like the whole franchise is just, oh, well, somebody made a Batman film and then somebody made a Batman film and then somebody made a Batman film and then, oh, somebody made a Batman film. Yeah. It's...
I mean, I will actually agree with you. I do like the Michael Keaton. Jack Nicholson. Oh, my God.
Do you know what it is? It comes down to what you said earlier. It's so fucking camp.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it. But they were going, I mean, they obviously, I think even Val Kilmer's Batman was good. With the, you know, they had, what's his name? Val Kilmer, and you had, what was his name? Who played you had the Riddler, didn't you?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was the Riddler and Two-Face, Harvey Two-Face. But again, it's a different version of like what we see later on in the Christopher Nolan version. Yeah, I really enjoyed those ones. Obviously, it went a little bit, you know, like the bat nipples and all that later on. Yeah, you know, I think that's where where we sort of say no, it's not good. Was it the Batman Forever, Batman and Robin? That was the one.
Yeah.
George Clooney, the George Clooney one. I think that's where was it Joel Schumacher who directed those? I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head without actually looking. But yeah, that's where those particular Batman sort of like went a little bit downhill. But the reinventing of it is a constant thing with the DC universe, and that's the really real point I was going to get to, in comparison to like the MCU. Now, obviously, the MCU wasn't Marvel wasn't a new thing. Like, it's been around for years. It's been around for us probably just after DC came out. I think DC Comics came out first. I don't comment.
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
I don't actually know that as a definite, but I feel like they both got sort of like one copied the other, and then they had different versions, different variations of the same sort of thing.
I mean,
you know,
if you look at all of their heroes, like they're the same hero dressed in different paint, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's I think it's interesting to see like Marvel, like Blade, for instance, was one of the first Marvel actually owned by Marvel properties that came out before the MCU. I don't think that was the full first actual Marvel. I'm sure there was others. Spawn, I think there's a Spawn one, which is like a dark. I don't know if that was DC because it's dark comics. Obviously, we say DC, but But yeah, Superman again, Man of Steel. I mean, I thought Henry Cavill was good as a Superman, and but it's like they did that.
I mean, do you know what it was for me? I think they wanted to stick with Henry Cavill. And I think had they actually stuck with him, it would have been really good. But I know there was issues with Henry Cavill and scheduling between Superman and The Witcher.
Yeah.
And he chose to stay with The Witcher, I think, and then they recast him anyway, so we lost out on both of them. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah. Sorry, I know. Yeah, he's definitely passionate about his sort of superhero. He's a gamer, you know that. He plays a lot of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, he builds his own PC, he plays World of Warcraft.
Yeah. He does D&D. Yeah, I think he does D&D as well. I'm not sure.
He does.
He definitely does Warcraft. He does things like Warcraft. He paints his own Warcraft models. I mean, like the man knows what he wants, and I think that's
a true geek.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He knows the comic books. He knows the stories. So when someone decides to change the stories, and that's where he backs off. He's like, no, you know what? If you're not going to stick to the source material, I'm done. And that's why he backed out of The Witcher.
Because they didn't want to stick to the source material.
Yeah. So fair play to him. You know, he knows what he wants and does his own thing. But obviously got the cameo in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Which was fun. But yeah, maybe we should jump onto the MCU a little bit, because I think obviously we'll keep bringing it up and keep mentioning it. And we have already mentioned James Gunn, but like, you know, James Gunn obviously was signed up with Marvel originally before taking on his own project on the DC universe. And
That's very true.
I didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy was a thing. I hadn't really heard of it. It's much more of a. It was a comic book, as they all were, but I never really heard of it.
It was definitely lesser known.
It was lesser known, and this when it came out it was 2014. I remember going to see it.
That long ago?
It was that long ago. I know.
Oh,
I know. It's like 12 years ago, and it's like I hadn't heard of it, but a friend of mine was like, "Right, let's go to see it. We'll go to the cinema." I watched, I think, nearly every MCU of the Infinity War saga in the cinema. I watched all of them in the cinema first. And the reason I started off with the Guardians, just mentioning it, is it's one of those, I hadn't heard of it. And I remembered just watching, I mean, we're talking about heroes. This could be a hero. Doctor Who and Matt Smith's run came to an end, and obviously Karen Gillan, who was Amy Pond, she had obviously left, and I didn't know what she was doing, but I saw her in an interview on, I think it was like...
For being Nebula.
Yeah, she was about to talk about being Nebula, and I didn't know who she was talking about. I didn't know anything about it, and I remember watching the interview thinking, oh, good for her, she's done a film since, like, you know, leaving Doctor Who.
Since leaving Doctor Who.
I didn't know how big a thing it was. I just thought, well done to you, you know. Oh, congratulations, she's doing well. And then
I think it was kind of the same for me, because I don't think I found out about it until I saw that she'd shaved her head. And then I was like, what the fuck, why has she shaved her head? And then it was like, oh, wait a minute, she's in a Marvel film?
I know. And I didn't realise the connection. I didn't get the connection, because I think by this point, like I said, it was 2014. But the MCU pretty much started with Iron Man in 2008. So that you had 2008. I didn't realise they were going to do this. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, and we were saying about the MCU being a thing. This is well before it became a thing. And we were talking about comic books. He was my manager. He came into the kitchen. He was like, yeah, they're going to bring out the Captain America. I can't see them doing that, not with the Nazis, because obviously back in the day, comic books were around the time, like Captain America was around the time of...
They were political, weren't they?
They were very political, yeah. It was very much like, oh, we need a hero to help protect us from the Nazis. But when the film came out, it was like, okay, it was very much comic booky, so it wasn't a great film, but it was good. It was still good anyway. It was like, okay, I like it. I now get it. But we didn't know which road they were going to go down. And then when we discovered that Guardians of the Galaxy come out, and I remember seeing the interview with Karen Gillan, and I remember saying to my friend, did you know Karen Gillan's going to be in a Marvel film? And he went, yeah, God, and he knew about it, and I didn't. So when we went to see the film, I still hadn't at that point kind of really understood what the MCU was, even though, like I said, it'd been going since 2008, and this is now 2014.
Yeah.
And we were going to watch this Guardians of the Galaxy, and I never understood it. And then we sat down and watched it. I come out going, oh my God, that was amazing. And the soundtrack, James Gunn, what a brilliant. And then, of course, he did Volume 2. And then the controversial thing with Twitter, and we're like, oh no, we've just lost our third film. Right before we get to Infinity War, and we're like, no. And of course, they forgave him, they let him back in, and we were like, thank God we've got our third movie. Turn out it weren't brilliant.
And then he fucks off to DC.
And then he fucks off to DC, yeah. And so that was something I wanted. That's why I instantly went to Guardians, because we were just talking about James Gunn. So I thought, yeah, we'd talk about that. But yeah, God, like the whole DC infinite universe with Thanos, the whole, obviously being the big bad. That obviously it was 10 years that went on for. And when we got to Endgame, again, the same friend, by the way, same friend, and I don't know why he's still a friend, but the same friend of mine said to me, "Can you imagine if COVID had happened then?" I went, "Oh, shut up! You're not funny. Shut up! You're not funny. Imagine not being able to watch Endgame because of." And I was like, "Yeah, you're not funny,"
and having to wait even longer.
yeah. Thankfully, Infinite End War came out in 2019, but thankfully it came out just before we had to lock down. But so we got to watch that final episode in that long, however many movies it was. I mean, it's quite a lot. Looking back at it, obviously it's made up of a lot of sequels. Like I said already, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 were part of that. I think 3 came after, but yeah, that for me was the MC. That for me was what I know as being Marvel movies throughout those years. And I guess maybe the same for you on Marvel stuff. I mean, we can talk about some of the newer stuff if you want. But
I would like to. However, first I need to admit something to you, Steve. And I say this with a very heavy heart because I know I'm going to get shit for this, because I always get shit for this. But I have to be honest. I have to live my truth. I cannot stand the Iron Man films.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Not even the first one. Just one of ours.
Nope, I can't stand them. They just bore me so much. I can watch every other Marvel film that has ever come out, and I do often start right from the beginning and go all the way through and skip the Iron Man.
You skip the Iron Man, yeah. That's mad. That's crazy. I mean,
I can't stand them. I don't know what it is about them, but I am not interested in the slightest.
That's completely fine. That's completely fair as well. Like that's your opinion on them. That's fair. I mean, I've got no. I don't have a problem
so much
with it.
Shit when people find this out. Honestly.
Oh, do you know what? So what? Like, you've got your opinion, and you've got your everyone. I wouldn't say I didn't like any of those films. Like, there's a few that were a bit, but I personally did enjoy that run, that Infinity Saga. I did enjoy it. I will admit there was a couple of them that weren't so good, and again I get it, and I think a lot of them were just filler for the sake of it being trying to. We had a couple of background characters that later on had a bigger role, and that's the reason for them being there. That's the only reason. They couldn't work out how to write them into their own movie, so we just give them a background character role instead. And obviously there was the excuse me, when it comes to things like Miss Marvel and stuff, like Captain Marvel, obviously they tried to put that together quickly because they actually made that. I think they made it after they done Infinity War, but they wanted to bring in obviously Brie Larson, and she got a lot of shit for that. But honestly,
I think she got a lot of shit because of the Karen haircut, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, she did get some shit because, as you know, female superheroes, women who aren't subservient.
I know. I was going to say. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But, I mean, when it comes to, Marvel has gotten a bit of flack recently, I will say. And a lot of people have been complaining about, the newest stuff, basically everything after Endgame.
Yeah.
But I've got to admit, Steve, I'm a big fan of the newest stuff.
I like some of them, yeah.
It's, for me, you reach Endgame, right? And you've got two options when you reach something like Endgame. You've spent 10 years building up this universe, puzzle piece after puzzle piece after puzzle piece, to get to this big endpoint, right? And then you've got two roads you can take. You can do what they've done, which is say, right, that was the pinnacle. Now we have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
New puzzle pieces. You don't know where it's going to go because we haven't told you yet. And everybody complains because they've just seen the biggest cinematic reveals since Darth Vader being Luke's dad.
Yeah.
Spoilers. You know.
Wait, what?
Or,
really? Yeah, sorry.
Or you fall into the pitfall of very popular things, in particular things like TV series like Supernatural, whereas you have this really big pinnacle and it's so amazing. And how can you possibly top it? Well, if you've defeated Satan, guess what? Now Satan has an older brother who's more evil, and you haven't heard of him yet, but he's more evil. And then everybody, because, well, you're trying to pull something out your ass that you haven't developed.
Yeah.
I think because of how well they did Endgame, they must have been aware that people weren't going to be happy once Endgame was done. Because how would you continue on from that?
Yeah.
But even now, a couple of years after Endgame, you watch all of these. I mean, the switch back to doing like TV series.
Right.
Brilliant. You know, they're really following the times. But you look at these TV series and these films and these standalones, and you're starting to see things weave together again, ready for Doomsday, which is the equivalent of the Avengers film, 2012. You know, you can see it coming together again already. You've got, you know, Shang-Chi is Mr. Bingley's favourite Marvel film of all time.
Yeah.
Brilliant representation of Eastern martial arts and culture, and a very different feel to a lot of stuff that they're already done. You've got everything they've done with Scarlet Witch, which I'll go into later because I'll go into that later. You've got everything they've done with Doctor Strange, bringing in America Chavez and, you know, Love, the girl that's been adopted by Thor, and Miss Marvel, and this development of the Marvels. And it's, meanwhile, in the background, you've still got all of these other films continuing on in the aftermath of Endgame. You know, your Captain America, your Falcon and the Winter Soldier, your Black Panther. They're doing it again.
Yeah,
they're starting it again from Iron Man 1. And if you, like, you know, this is why I said to you, I don't like the Iron Man films. Because when they first came out, a lot of people didn't like the Iron Man films. You know, that first Iron Man film, it did okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were like, what is this shit?
What is, yeah.
And that's what's happening now with this new stuff that's come out. People watched it and went, what is this shit? But it's going to get to Doomsday, and it's going to get to Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And we're going to build back up to another Endgame in 7 years' time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could start reinventing it all just so we can start again. I mean, there's obviously certain things they had to reinvent, they had to bring in because of certain controversies behind the scenes. Like, I think Jonathan Majors being one of them.
Yes, that was a big one.
You know, obviously, if you look at the Loki TV series as an example, he should have been the new big bad, but obviously, you know, he did some.
But they had to cut the Kang timeline because of all of that stuff.
Yeah, so he obviously, I don't want to go too deep into it, but like, obviously, that's the reason why they went.
Yeah,
we're not going to go down the Kang thing anymore because we've got to untie our thing with him because he's a piece of shit, and you know that's obviously why they changed it. So that didn't help. There's certain things like that doesn't help a franchise, you know, especially when they've got a plan ahead. They've got a plan ahead the next 10 years.
Exactly.
So once they start writing in where these characters are going to be, who's going to play them, you know, I think someone like Chris Evans and obviously Robert Downey Jr. probably signed on a 5-movie deal.
It was more than that. They signed on for I think it was like a 10-year contract, maybe
10-year
15.
contract. Yeah, so
like, they were long contracts.
So they turned around and said, "Look, we're tied to you for this amount of time. Obviously, like Hollywood's being Hollywood, like it's all about making sure we make money and keeping, you know, whatever we can. If something sells, we're great." But yeah. Obviously, controversial things have happened that changes where we are, but like you said, they are now going towards this doomsday thing rather than where we should have gone. And it does mean that some movies don't become as good as they should have been, or don't get received as good as they should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of agree with that, to be honest, Steve. It's like, if you think about it, the whole Kang timeline, that should have been the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then I think the Doomsday stuff would have been like Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
But they've essentially had to, like you said, move forward because there were controversies and they've got to keep themselves in business, which means that sometimes you've got to pretend that people don't exist.
Yeah.
But even with that minor setback, like, look at the work that they've done. Like, tying up Loki, tying up Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, being able to have that huge moment in Far From Home where all three Spider-Mans, like, you are bringing generations of people back to the MCU because people will come back for what they know.
Yeah, yeah.
People will come back for Loki because everybody fucking loves Loki. People will come back for Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Oh, I do like the Tobey Maguire.
Because it's people's childhoods. They've made all of these films and now they're calling back, which I think this is a nice segue into what I want to talk about, actually. It's why they do all of these releases. I saw one recently. I say recently, it was before the release of the new Spider-Man film, which I haven't seen yet. But they basically spoiled themselves by announcing Sadie Sink as Jean Grey.
Yes.
Now, we don't know if you haven't seen the film, you don't know what capacity she's in that movie as Jean Grey, but you know that she is Jean Grey, so you know that the mutants are coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. But because they've built all of this hype, they've put themselves in a very, very unique storytelling position, whereas they can give us all of this information, but because we know that they're planning that far in advance, we have no idea where they're going to take it. Everybody knows who Jean Grey is. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. We now know that they're both in this movie. How they're both in this movie, we haven't been told. Right. Why they're both in this movie, we haven't been told. So even, like, if you think about it, so a company like DC spoiling a reveal of a major character in one of their films before the film's released, it would be suicide. But Marvel's built up this rep as, competent storytellers and forward planners that they don't need to worry about that. All they did, by revealing this information that other companies wouldn't be able to reveal, all they're doing is building hype.
Yeah. And it's a hype that I'm certainly hopeful, like, the next phase.
Me too.
Obviously there's, like we said, there's been some not so good things come out, but then I think, again, that was all to do with the controversial stuff, so they've had to change the way in which they projected originally. So yeah, I look forward to seeing a lot of these new stuff. Again, like you, haven't seen the new Spider-Man. I'm hoping to change that, but I got a feeling the way things are going in the next few weeks, when me being busy and not being able to get out, I'll probably have to stream it, I reckon, at some point.
I mean, I'll watch it when you stream it, because
yeah, just because I don't see myself getting out to the cinema yet because of IRL,
Yeah.
Stuff like that going on.
God damn it! How dare you have a life?
I know, right? Sorry. But
it's just unreasonable, Steve.
Sad. Yeah. But again, Spider-Man is another thing that we doing the whole do this multi-universe thing is interesting. Because I'm bringing that in just briefly. I don't want to sort of like go. I'm very good at derailing. I don't want to derail too much, but obviously that's where Doctor Strange sort of introducing us to the multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse of madness.
Yeah, I think that was unfortunate, but again, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of these people that have come into it. Obviously, you mentioned the new, like the Jean Grey and the X-Men. Like, we had, what was it? Was it Frank? Is it, what's her name? Frankie something Jensen. I think she played the original Jean Grey. I don't know. You've had a couple of actresses. Sophie Turner was one of them as well. So they're changing actresses, actors in a lot of these films, and you got to sort of say, well, okay, that's because we're going into this multiple universes and stuff, with the exception of like, Patrick Stewart, who seems to be he is the only professor. Xavier. Weirdly, but
I like what they've done with it, to be honest. It kind of links back to what I said earlier about DC, if they found a way to explain it all. But I've really liked how they explained it in Multiverse of Madness, whereas some characters always have the same face. And between watching Multiverse of Madness and watching the Loki TV series, you find out it's because they're the anchor people in their timeline.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an anchor, you have the same face.
Yeah.
So people like Charles Xavier, always going to be the same person. Deadpool, always going to be the same person. Captain America, Scarlet Witch, because she exceeds the multiverse because she's the Scarlet Witch. Doctor Strange always has the same face because he's an anchor.
This takes me back to Deadpool Wolverine. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Right. So that, obviously playing up to the camera, but let's say Hugh Jackman being the only face for Wolverine.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing it till you're 80. You're like, it's like, it is, he is Wolverine, and that's it. We can't get away from that. And if anyone else plays it, you'd be like, no, it shouldn't be like. But some characters.
But this is why they did the last Wolverine film, though.
Yeah.
Where they introduced essentially baby Wolverine. The little girl, because the whole point of that is she is now essentially Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah, and she,
it's the same as like the Captain America. It's, for some characters,
I mean,
it is just passing down a mantle, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Captain America is just the symbol, isn't it? It's like, it can be anyone.
Black Panther, it's a title.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we can have different people playing those parts, because like you said, it's just a mantle, isn't it? Yeah. Passing on the wand. Yeah, it was like, there you go. There's a lot to look forward to. I think we mentioned it earlier. There's a new is it Vision has got
Vision Quest. I am so looking forward to Vision Quest. So I did want to ask you, however, I know we've been talking for a while. But I will ask you after I tell you mine. But my favourite superhero, or I suppose my favourite comic book character, I should be more accurate, is Scarlet Witch. Right? I love it. The idea of this person who is sometimes a hero, sometimes a villain, sometimes an anti-hero, this being that is beyond the label of good and bad. She is just chaos incarnate. House of M is my favourite set of comic books ever.
Oh!
That storyline.
Right.
So all of the WandaVision, the Agatha All Along, the Vision Quest, all of these things that tie into the development of Scarlet Witch, I am fucking obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Because fine well that Vision Quest is, it's going to be about this White Vision finding his humanity, because you've now got White Vision. But you also know that when White Vision meets Wanda again, it's going to blow up, because the Scarlet Witch always blows up.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to watch this and see where it goes, and see the building of this White Vision as something that isn't the Vision that we know. because I can't wait to see how it links into everything else, especially with us going into the multiverse and basically broadcasting that mutants are now in the world with Spider-Man. We could get House of M. We could visually get House of M.
That would be so good.
And if we do, I wouldn't even have words.
That would actually, do you know, yeah. I did actually predict what I thought would be a good Spider-Man. And I know not to just change slightly, but yeah, when you sort of like projecting like into the future and sort of saying what you hope to see, there was a Spider-Man storyline that I thought they should have done, and I said it a few years ago. This is well before I think it was before Tom Holland was announced as Spider-Man. So that's how long ago it was. But I said I think they should have done a Madam Web universe. This is before Madam Web was Sony owned Madam Web, which turns out to be like not so good. Crap. Yeah, basically. So I did say I think they should have gone down that road. I think that Spider-Man could have done a Madam Web storyline from the comics, because I thought the storyline from the comics was really good, like where he goes in, and again it introduced towards the end a multiverse, and when it linked all of the different types of Spider-Men coming in. I haven't seen a lot of new stuff recently, so I don't know if that is something that is already out there. So I'm not saying this because I'm copying. But you know, that was just my thoughts at the time, and I was like, I really hope they do that, and they did, but they fucked it up. So, well, you kind of not got the point of what I was going for, but yeah, but yeah, I guess you're going to ask me what is my favorite.
I have to. Who is your favorite comic book? It doesn't have to be a hero. It could be an anti-hero. I'll maybe say I'll say not villains, because I think we should talk about villains maybe in their own episode, because villains as a genre, I have so much to talk about.
I mean, I go back to being a kid and actually getting comic books.
No.
Yeah. I didn't get that many, to be honest. I wasn't like a Sheldon or anything like that. It wasn't like a, I wasn't.
No, it's too late. It's too late. You're a nerd.
I had the one comic book hero I remember out of all of them. I mean, it sounds a bit of a cop out because it's quite easy one to go for, but Spider-Man was probably one of my favorite. I mean, one of my favorite, but not. And then maybe Captain America, but as well. I think that was something that stuck in my mind.
I mean, I know you're saying it feels like a bit of a cop-out, but I think in terms of favourites, like, there's a reason why Spider-Man was Stan Lee's favourite. Like, it's a lot of people say that Spider-Man is their favourite superhero. And I have thought a little bit about this. I think it's because typically you get superheroes and, it's always either, a god or something otherworldly, or you have to be a millionaire. Yeah. Spider-Man is anyone.
Yeah, that was
it's just a guy. It's a kid from Brooklyn.
Do you know what?
And Captain America is very much the same. Anybody could be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think that appeals to a lot of people, that whole idea of, like, you don't have to be a god or the richest man in the world or in some tragic fucking nuclear accident in order to do some good in the world.
I'll tell you what, just while you were saying that, something came to my mind, and I do agree with what you said. Yeah. First of all, Stan Lee, yes, he definitely said that. He said that any kid can wear the mask. And you don't know, it doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, and you could be any sort of, like, anyone, and any kid can do it, and that's what I liked about it. But also, what I was going to say was, if you've never seen it, watch Kill Bill. There's a moment in that where he talks about superheroes. He said, "Who's the only superhero that doesn't have a mask?" He said, "Superman." Is it everyone else wears Everyone else wears a mask to disguise who they are as the hero, but Superman's the only one that disguises himself as a human.
Yeah.
It's the reverse of everybody else.
If you think about it, it's the same with all of the gods as well. Thor, he has a helmet, but he doesn't hide his face.
No.
But he disguises himself as human.
Yeah. It is literally all the gods, isn't it? But yeah. Bruce Banner can walk down the road and we know he could just be anyone, but then that's his disguise as Hulk. Hulk is his ultimate ego.
Alter ego, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought of that. It was something that was mentioned in Kill Bill.
It is a funny thought, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, you say about saying about heroes and being favourite heroes. Not all heroes have to be super.
That's true.
If we were to come away from this briefly, I do want to just mention there are a couple of like movies or TV shows that have been out, and who would you say that isn't so much superhero, but like just a hero of like maybe the big screen. I mean, you could argue like Transformers, for example, that being one of them. They're all aliens. They're not necessarily superheroes, but they're robots in disguise. That could be a superhero movie. But also, Sigourney Weaver could be seen as being a hero.
An alien.
She stood up to an alien species in space, and she was like, "Not on my watch, bitch, fuck off," and blasted them into space. But yeah, she was like, if you want a good female lead, I think she stands up.
I mean, she's always a good female lead, isn't she? I don't think I've seen her in a bad thing yet.
No.
She's the opposite of Jared Leto. Everything she's in is by default good because she's in it.
Yeah, but there are TV shows and movies. TV show. I mean, we've said it before, but Buffy. Right.
That's what came to my head when you asked the question of, I know technically she is super because she's a slayer and she's more, she's more than human.
She's slightly more than human.
She's not like a comic book superhero.
No, exactly. That's something I was thinking about before we came live. I was like, yeah, there's superheroes, but there's also heroes, and that's what pretty much where we're going with this podcast as well, is that we are looking at heroes of the big screen or even the small screen. Yeah, Buffy's a good one to go with. Obviously, as I said, you got Alan Ripley. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else right now. My mind's gone.
I'm trying to have a think of things that I might have seen recently, but I mean, I feel like we should go into general I feel like we're going into protagonist.
We are going down protagonists. We're going to be careful.
We need to be very specific about the difference, because I think
comic book.
A lot of protagonists are called heroes because they're the hero of the story.
Comic book anti-hero, I would say, Constantine.
Do you know what? I have such a soft spot for an anti-hero.
Because it's more to do with demons and the devil. But it's definitely Constantine as a sort of an anti-hero would be a good one. Wanted to go stretch out further than the comic book. I mean, it's still technically I think it is comic book. It's probably dark. I think is it DC? I'm not sure. It's definitely dark. And it's in the way in which he's projected. Or portrayed, I should say. Projected but portrayed. And then obviously Sin City. There's that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They are superheroes.
They are superheroes. Why does giant mutant Ninja Turtles need disguise? I don't know, but they do. They wear masks.
So the pizza delivery man doesn't recognize them, Steve.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil.
How else are they going to get the pizza delivered to the sewers?
But also, Kick-Ass was another good sort of lesser known comic book sort of hero. Like, he didn't have any real powers, but he just couldn't feel pain. He got every bone broken, but because he couldn't feel pain. That was actually a fun movie. Both of them, they did 2 movies, and I think obviously the first one was good, or better than the second. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. We haven't. I mean, going back to DC briefly, it was talking about like female. I know we was going to step away from it, but Wonder Woman, we never mentioned that.
Yeah,
as a good female lead. But yeah, I can't honestly at the moment. I'm not too sure. If I can find.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think
Any
we could probably do its own episode on just favorite protagonists, couldn't we? Like what it means to be a protagonist, I think, because the line between protagonist and hero is a very, very thin one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could pick up on that on another time, but I don't know. I had a thought come in, and before it left, I thought I'd mention it. Have, because that's look. If anyone doesn't know me already, I am pretty much Doug from from Up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, squirrel.
Yeah. I will. If I don't say something straight away, I will forget.
I mean, it's a valid point, though. I mean, especially like while we were on the topic of Marvel. I know it's not MCU or wasn't MCU, but will be. X-Men.
Yeah,
What other franchise, what other set of films has ever done such a good portrayal of the ability to switch between hero, villain, and anti-hero?
Yeah.
Look at Charles and Magneto.
Yes.
Right, you look at Professor X and Magneto, and across all of the films, you see this love-hate relationship. They're brothers, they're friends, they're enemies, they're fucking nemesis. And it constantly changes. There's this evolution. I think what the X-Men films did really, really well was portray the humanity of superheroes and like how fickle it can be. Because in one film, you have Magneto helping out. In the next film, you have him making a stand because he's drawn a boundary and now he is therefore on the other side.
Yeah, I mean,
or you have them both working towards the same goal but going about it completely differently ways.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like First Class,
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
When you look at Magneto and when he deflects the bullet, I mean, not spoilers, but yeah, you know, it's old enough now.
It's an old enough film.
Yeah, when he deflects the bullet, and then we learn how Xavier becomes paralyzed. And also, when he goes against his mother's killer, oh shit, what was his name? I can't think of his name, but it was Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And the coin, that coin scene at the end. Oh my God. Like, how much of it, that's anti-hero right there. That's like, I'm going to get revenge. And he you know, obviously puts the helmet on. He can't have his mind read by Xavier. And you're like, damn, that he goes for revenge. But this is supposed to be a superhero movie, and it's not. And he's you know, yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, that was right. Like, I think something that I really enjoy about the X-Men films, and you know, you'll kind of see why I was drawn to it because of how much I like Scarlet Witch. In particular, the portrayal of Phoenix. Right. Yeah.
Of this, you know, like Jean Grey is a superhero. She wants to do good. She knows that she's powerful, but she wants to help people. Her alignment is lawful good. Okay, maybe chaotic good at a push. You have Phoenix, the power that's inside of her, you know, strong, powerful, but it does still want to help people. And then you have Dark Phoenix. Yeah. And it's all the same person, and it's not like a split personality thing. It's all situational, and there's such a complexity behind it. Whereas, like, you're watching it all happen, and you can't love the character because of what they're doing, but you also can't hate them because you can see how they've gotten there. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think a lot of what I enjoy about superhero, like movies, comic books, all of that, is the journey. It's the development, which is why I do enjoy Marvel more than DC, because it's all development. It's progression. It's starting with something, sticking with it, and going, let's see where we end up.
Yeah, absolutely. and yeah, I think that's a good point. We can sort of move on from that, actually, because I'm looking at time.
I mean, we have been talking for a while and my voice is getting quite sore. So I suppose the only thing really left to do is, I know that we've just been talking about X-Men in particular. Now, we're talking about progression and development, and obviously we touched on the multiverse. One of the things that I find really hard to keep track of in comic books is the relationships between characters.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we are about to have a very, very special game of...
Is it? And isn't it? Isn't it? And isn't it? A poem game?
This week's episode, a little bit different. So I've not gone... I was very, very tempted. I know this. I said this to you earlier, but I'm going to tell chat. I was very, very tempted to go through and look up names of comic books or manga that was smut and give you an is it or isn't it that way, because I know a couple and it'll be fun, but I think I'll save that for a later time. Because what I would like to ask you today, Steve, and anybody in chat who is listening, I'm going to give you some X-Men characters.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me whether or not they have canonically done the porn and have children.
Yes.
So a little bit different. Not necessarily is it porn, but have they canonically had enough sex to have a child?
Damn. All right. Okay. Let's do this.
So I've got for you 6 different X-Men characters. I've tried to keep it to ones that you'll kind of know the names of.
All right.
Or at least that anybody listening will know the names of. So we'll start off with one very well-known character. The answer might not be as obvious. Wolverine. Does Wolverine canonically have biological children?
Oh, okay. So, how much is my knowledge on this? I'm going to say... No, he doesn't.
You're saying no, he doesn't?
I'm going to say no, he doesn't.
Do we get any reasoning on that? Just because I like listening to your thought process.
I don't think he's had time. I think, to be honest,
Man's a model, Steve.
I mean, like, I don't. I mean, I know there was definitely in one of the films where he may have gone back in time and he may have ended up in bed with someone, but I don't think he did. I think throughout the comic book years, I don't think he's had. I know that there's a clone because that was taken, but I think that's more taken from his cells.
Yeah, I'm specifically speaking about like main or traditional timelines, so not like alternate universe.
No. Then I don't think he ended up with any kids. I don't think he's got any spawn.
Okay, I can reveal to you that Wolverine does have children.
Whoa! Damn.
In particular, the most famous of them is another mutant called Sabreclaw.
Oh,
now,
right.
That he had with his initial wife. I believe her name was Leah, but I can't remember that off the top of my head. If you've seen the X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's the woman at the beginning of that. They had a son together before she was killed.
Right. Oh, okay. Damn, I'm going to have to go back and watch it now.
I don't think they had the son in the films.
No, but
in the comic books,
it makes sense to...
Sabreclaw is the son of Wolverine.
Oh, shit. Damn. So confident.
Okay.
All right.
That's all right. We'll go for the next one. The next X-Men... How do I think how to phrase this? The next X-Men candidate that I'm going to present to you, that's the wrong phrasing, but fuck it, is Beast, also known as Hank McCoy. Does Beast or
Jeez.
Hank McCoy have any biological children?
Yeah, this is how much knowledge do I have of the X-Men? Not a lot, I think. Going by my first answer, at least.
And keeping it like I don't blame you if for any of these that you get wrong, because there are so many
Right.
comics on X-Men, which is why I chose this.
I mean, I'm going to go with my. Do you have a pattern? So I'm going to say no.
I mean, you should really be analysing the characters and not any patterns.
I know.
I can reveal that Beast has not, in the traditional continuity, had any children canonically.
Hey, I got one right. So yeah.
Got one right.
I got one right. Yeah. 1 out of 2. Not great. Well, it's 50-50, so yeah, it's fine. But we've still got another one to
You've
go.
got 4 more to go.
Oh, shit.
The next one is Rogue. Does Rogue have any
Rogue?
biological
See,
children?
in my mind, Rogue's like the young teenager.
No, she's not always, though, is she?
No. Who would... Wait. Who would... See, I'm trying... You have to try and think then. Like...
Who would be able to without dying? Is that what you're trying not to ask?
Yeah. Who would do it without, like, literally... Because, like, she draws their powers, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So whoever she has physical contact with. And she had a very hard time trying to kiss Bobby, as we know, who was Iceman. In the... Yeah. I mean, on that basis alone, you kind of wonder whether that's because it wouldn't be possible. I'm going to go for the third no.
Okie dokie.
I mean, I probably shouldn't.
I can reveal that Rogue has many children.
No way!
So many children.
No, oh shit.
She has had children with, just to name a couple of them, Gambit.
What the fuck?
Captain America.
No way!
And Magneto.
No, what? Wait, what?
All in different comics.
Yeah, okay. In different comics, different sort of like... So in a multiverse then...
Yeah, so multiverse is allowed, but we're still talking like traditional continuity. So alternate timelines are fine, alternate universes aren't.
Right, damn.
So we're thinking like multiverse, not what if.
Oh,
if that helps.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Shit. Oh, wow, that's
Right.
just... Wow. So, yeah.
Rogue gets around.
Damn.
She knows what she likes.
She knows what she likes.
Apparently, it's having a lot of kids. Next one, I'm hoping will be an easy one for you, but
Please.
we'll see. Magneto.
Yes, he does. I already, the moment... I didn't even have to finish typing. Yes, he does. And I think it's Quicksilver.
It's Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. In
and-
the traditional continuity,
yes.
in the House of M,
House of... Yes.
Magneto is the father to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
That I did know. I thought when you mentioned this at the start, I thought if I'm going to get anything right, that's going to be the one.
I did have to put that one in there just for the House of M reference.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay.
I know I definitely got 2 right then.
Okay. Next one. A little bit harder. Storm.
Oh, now, okay. I'm going to say yes, and I think I do know who it might be, but I'm not 100% certain. But I think yes for Storm.
Okay. I can reveal that Storm
Spike.
has no biological children.
Oh, really?
Continuity.
Oh, fuck.
She has several kids in alternate universes, like Chimera. In one alternate universe, she has children with Black Panther. She has a lot of children in alternate universes, but in the traditional continuity, in the multiverse, she does not have any biological children.
Okay, so that's a no then.
That's a no.
Oh, I got it wrong. Okay. Oh, I thought I was there with that one. There we go.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Mystique.
Oh, Mystique was probably the one I was thinking of then. I'm going to say, so I'm going to say yes. I think Mystique does. And I think Mystique does. And I think I know who it might be. At least one of them. I think she does.
I can reveal
Nightcrawler.
that Mystique gave birth to Nightcrawler.
She does. Yeah. See, I do know some things about the X-Men universe. I'm surprised with Storm, but
yeah, I put Storm in there as a difficult one.
Do you know what?
That one is very technicality.
Rogue, though, surprised me more out of all of them.
Rogue, honestly, when I saw that, I looked over like the list and I was like, bloody hell! Like, for somebody who kills everyone she touches, girl gets around.
Damn, I mean,
good on
how?
her.
Yeah. I mean, is it physical? I mean, I don't know how that works. I don't.
If you think about the people that I mentioned, though, Captain America, it's a serum. It's not a power.
Yes.
Magneto is one of the most. He's one of the strongest Omega level.
Yeah, so
in the world, so he's got power to spare.
He can withstand it. I mean, I'm not trying too hard there because of the start of this podcast started off as a naked attraction, but I'm not trying too hard to think of the logistics of it all. I just really can't.
So yeah, that is all we have on this week's rather strange episode of...
Is it? And isn't it? Is it? And isn't it? A porn game?
I fucking love that jingle. Yeah, something a bit different to cheer you up.
Yeah, it definitely has. Oh well, okay. All right. As we know, then that pretty much brings us to a bit of a close. Yeah, that was a good one this week. Honestly, it was like I could probably talk about comic books a lot more, comic book series and stuff like that, which we can do at some point. I'm sure we will come back to it. But yeah, that's going to bring us to an end of this episode of To Be Decided podcast. As always, you can find us over on pretty much anywhere. I literally just discovered that you can find us over on because it is Amazon owned, but Amazon Music, Amazon Audible also has us over on now. Yeah, I know. Spotify, obviously Apple Player have their own podcast as well, and there's spattering of other podcast platforms. We do have over on YouTube our own channel, Mr. Steve's and Mrs. Bingly's podcast channel over on YouTube, where you can hear the audible edited version of this podcast. And honestly, there's not a lot to cut out, so you're probably going to get the full episode with this straight away within minutes. I won't take too long editing, I don't think. Which I'm rather glad about.
I'm surprised you can put it on YouTube with the amount of swearing that I do, though.
Honestly, it's allowed because of the explicit that you're allowed. You can tag it, so you can actually do that. You can actually tag it as a not suitable for a younger audience. And that's why I can get away with that. Yeah, I probably doesn't make it it doesn't help discoverability though with that tagline, but at least we get away with it. I don't have to edit it for that reason. And therefore I won't. So yeah.
And you can listen to all of the fuck-ups and stutters and swears.
So yeah, apart from like the end, maybe a little bit from the ending and a little bit at the beginning, there's not much I need to edit this week, which I'm really grateful for. So this will be up soon. If you still lurking in the whilst we are over on twitch.tv/funnybitsboy, whilst you're watching there, thank you very much for being lurking, if you were lurking. And we will see you again next time on the To Be Decided podcast. Thank you very much from myself, Mr. Steve, and thank you very much, Kate, Mrs. Bingley.
Yes.
Till next time.
On the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, right. Excuse me as we start. There's a big cough. That'll be edited out. That's fine. I might take that out later. Or leave it in. More authentic, leave it in.